Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the rain isn't stopping. Thousands of years ago, a week of non-stop rain could completely change daily life. Hunting became difficult because animals often hid from the storm. Travel was dangerous, as roads and pathways turned into rivers of mud. Fishing was often impossible when rivers and lakes became too dangerous. So instead of working outside, ancient people focused on tasks they could do indoors. Rainy days were perfect for repairing tools and weapons. Every tool was valuable and needed regular maintenance. Some even used the time to create brand new hunting equipment. Clothing repairs became another important rainy day activity. Damaged clothes had to be fixed before the next hunting season arrived. Entire families often worked together inside their shelters. Young people learned important survival skills from older generations. Knowledge was passed down through observation and practice. Rainy weeks were also storytelling weeks. Stories preserved history long before books existed. Legends, myths, and survival lessons were shared through spoken stories. Storytelling helped strengthen bonds within the community. Many people spent rainy days making useful household items. Baskets were essential for carrying food and supplies. Music was another way ancient people passed the time. Rhythms and songs brought energy to otherwise gloomy days. Even during bad weather, people found reasons to celebrate. But the longer the rain lasted, the greater the challenge became for survival. After several days of rain, ancient people began relying on the food they had stored for emergencies. Preserved foods became extremely valuable during long periods of bad weather. Communities often rationed supplies to make sure everyone had enough to eat. Every meal had to be carefully managed until conditions improved. One advantage of constant rain was an endless supply of fresh water. Ancient people often collected and stored rainwater whenever possible. With fewer outdoor responsibilities, people could spend time improving their craftsmanship. Some objects were practical, while others carried cultural or spiritual meaning. Rainy weeks became opportunities for education and training. Skills learned during these days could later mean the difference between life and death. Storms often reminded ancient people of the power of nature. Many believed thunder and lightning were messages from powerful gods or spirits. Some communities held ceremonies to seek protection from the storm. These rituals helped people feel hopeful during uncertain times. Outside, the settlement continued to change under the constant rain. Shelters often needed repairs to withstand days of heavy weather. Even small leaks could become serious problems if ignored. Everyone contributed to protecting the community. As darkness arrived, people stayed close together for warmth and safety. The stories became longer and more meaningful as the rain continued. Legends inspired younger generations and kept traditions alive. After many long days, the storm slowly started to lose its strength. People emerged from their shelters eager to see what had changed. But the end of the rain brought new challenges that no one could ignore. When the rain finally stopped, ancient people immediately began assessing the damage. The world outside often looked completely different from before the storm. The first priority was making sure homes were still safe. Repairs began immediately before another storm could arrive. Hunters were eager to return to the wilderness. Several days without hunting meant food supplies needed replenishing. Ironically, the rain sometimes made tracking animals easier. Skilled hunters used these signs to locate their prey. Farmers also checked whether their crops had survived. Sometimes heavy rain helped crops grow, but too much rain could ruin entire harvests. Communities often had to repair the land before farming could continue. For children, the end of the storm often felt like a celebration. The return of sunshine lifted everyone's spirits. Elders remembered previous storms and shared lessons with younger generations. Experience was one of the most valuable survival tools ancient people possessed. Every storm taught people how to prepare more effectively for the next one. Over time, these lessons helped communities become stronger and more resilient. The rain had been difficult, but it had also brought people together. Cooperation often meant the difference between survival and disaster. Stories of the great storm would be remembered for years to come, and those stories would eventually be passed to future generations. Life in the ancient world was never easy, but people learned to adapt to nature's challenges. So the next time it rains for a few days, remember that ancient people faced the same challenge thousands of years ago and survived through skill, patience, and teamwork.